Hello my loves, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Hollabec. So I actually had intended on uploading this video sometime last week, and then I just absolutely could not. I was so busy or tied up with other things, like I couldn't even do things that like needed to get done, personally. So this is actually meant to be a follow-up to the last video that I posted. I'm empty inside. I really wanted to update you guys on what's been going on with me and what's been happening since I last uploaded that video. So since then, Jordan and I have finally found an apartment. So I figured I'd tell you guys the story of that because it's kind of funny and it worked out in our favor, so it was really good. So of course at the time we had pretty much given up hope. I think it was Monday. It was definitely Monday. Not this last Monday, but like the one before that maybe. It really doesn't matter. So we had pretty much given hope on getting, I guess, anything reasonably priced. So there was an apartment complex that I had called, and it was such a large complex that they didn't even have a waiting list. In fact, she made it sound like they had tons and tons and tons of apartments available to rent because they offered different layouts and all that good stuff. So I was pretty excited about it. I saw it online and the price looked really, really good. But of course, like I knew and Jordan knew that what they post online is not going to be your bottom line. It never is. So we make a special trip for that, and then Jordan wanted to put in an application at another place that was going to be paying more, which I'll tell you that story as well. So we made the trip up, and our first stop was the apartment complex, and like, oh my god, they were so busy, like busier than typically apartment complex offices are. So we had to sit and wait for a little bit, but whatever. And so we finally get to talk to the woman. I'm pretty sure it was the one that I had talked to on the phone. It just kind of worked out that way. So I started talking to her, and we explained our situation, how, we have a time limit, we have to get in by a certain time. And she's like, yeah, absolutely no problem. And I guess what I really didn't like was just how general she was being about everything. Because, like, when I was looking online, they had, like, 30 different floor plans that offered different bedrooms and everything. So I was hoping to get a look at, like, the different floor plans and then the pricing and then come to a decision that way. And it was almost like fighting with her to get that information, because when I talked to her, her question was, how many bedrooms do you want? So we're like, 2 bedrooms. She's like, alright, you want this one. I'm like, well, hold on a minute, what else do you have available? Like, let's not jump into something. I want to see what you guys have to offer and the price range. Because the apartment that she was showing us, that she wanted us to rent, was over $1,000 a month, just for rent. And that's not adding all the little extra things that you have to pay for on top of rent. So I finally get her to show me different floor plans, and like there were only a couple that were kind of lower on the scale as far as price was concerned. So we had a couple different options that looked kind of good. There was one that was like $856 a month, and that was a 2-bedroom without a washer and dryer. Or they had an option, a floor plan that was actually what I was kind of leaning towards when I saw the floor plans online, was like their Apple floor plan, which included 2 bedrooms, a huge storage closet, and then a washer and dryer, which of course, I'm sure you guys know, super excited me. So the price for that one was $903, and that would have been fine, but then you had to include all of the other stupid little things that they always add in. And this is what really irritated me about this place. You did not have free parking. You had to pay for your parking. Like, you had to pay for a permit per vehicle to park in the parking lot of the place that you are living. How retarded is that? Like, I can understand having to pay for like a garage or even a carport. I can understand that. But an open space in the parking lot of your apartment complex, that is just ridiculous. And of course that was just the beginning of all the stupid, tiny little idiotic things that they added monthly to your total bill. So on top of the $903, we also had to pay, of course, for our cat, so it was like $40 per animal, so it's like $80 on top of the $903. So $983 there. And the utilities were absolutely retarded because you had to pay electric, heat, And online they made it sound like that was all you had to pay, that you were responsible for those. But they can say that you're responsible for those because those are the things that are going to be in your name. However, on top of that, you also have to pay a fee to the apartment complex for your water, your sewage, and trash, I think. So everything said and done, for the apartment that we were looking at, all the fees included, it was going to be around $1,200 a month, which was completely unacceptable. But again, we had pretty much given up hope on getting something reasonable. That's kind of what we were running into with every place. If we're going to get something nice, we're going to pay for it. Or even if we didn't get anything nice, we still would pretty much have to pay exactly the same thing. So we both kind of looked at each other. We knew it was more than either of us wanted to spend. But they could guarantee us a spot when we needed it, and that was really what kind of sold us on it. So we had pretty much decided that that's where we were going to go, just for lack of other options. So when we talked to the lady, decided on the floor plan that we wanted and when we were going to be getting it, she then took a copy of our information, so IDs, and then his employment form from the new job, and then told us to just fill out the application online as soon as we got home that day. So that's pretty much what we had planned on. So we were a little disheartened. I mean, I guess a small amount of stress was relieved just from having a place that we were actually moving to, but knowing that we were going to be paying so much a month was just, it was very discouraging. So after we got done there, we ended up going to drop off his resume at, it was actually the local road commission. So he wanted to drop his resume off there, so that was our next stop. So he went in, and I didn't go in with him, obviously, I was in the car, but when he came back, he was ticked off, mad, like more mad than I've seen him in a while. And he opened the back seat and just like threw the resume in the back and got in the car. And I'm like, Jordan, what is wrong with you? What is going on? Why are you so mad? And apparently when he went in, the lady at the front desk refused to take his resume and his application. Refused, would not take it at all. Said that the job posting was closed now and they were no longer accepting applications. And he was ticked off because he had just seen this posting like 2 days ago on Indeed.com, I think, which he has it set up where they will email him as soon as a job with his qualifications becomes available, like as soon as it becomes available. So he got the notification for it immediately. So within a day's time, she was basically saying within like 2 days, they are no longer accepting applications, which made absolutely no sense. So he was mad, and I was mad, and at this point we were just so broken. Like, we were so sad and defeated, and pretty much felt like at that point the world was like stacking up against us. So we tucked our tails between our legs and started heading home, which was like an hour-and-a-half drive. And about 15 minutes into it, Jordan gets a phone call. And it is from the one and only apartment complex that we actually applied to, that we actually spent money to apply to, called to tell us that they would have an availability within our time frame. So of course immediately we're so excited, and we asked him if we could actually stop by and see, like physically see the apartments for ourselves, and talk to him more about the complex and what they have to offer and all that good stuff. And of course he agreed, so we immediately turned around and headed to the complex. And it's a really cute little complex. I think there's maybe only 5 or 6 buildings, so it's not that large, so it's very nice. So they're offering a 2-bedroom apartment, which is good because that's exactly what we were looking for. And the price is unbeatable. It's unbeatable. It's the best deal that we have found anywhere. So for a 2-bedroom, it is $785 a month, and then an additional $45 for our cats, and that's for both of them. Both of them. We haven't run into that anywhere. Pretty much every other place was going to charge somewhere between $30 and $45 per cat. So $785 plus the $45 a month, and then the only other thing we would have to pay for is electric. That's it. So we were so excited because it's basically what we were looking for, like exactly what we were looking for. Now the only thing that really, I guess, upsets me is the place we have now is very, very large for what we're paying for it. Like, I think it's close to 1,000 square feet for only $520 a month. So it is a steal, really. So this new place that we're moving into is 750 square feet. So it is fairly small. So that honestly broke my heart because I hate the idea of it, but we're gonna have to downsize, which means that we're going to have to sell our couch because our couch is a huge sectional. I think we're gonna end up selling our current queen size bed and then just using our guest bed, which is only a full size, which it'll be big enough for us, but when you're used to a queen, full size I don't think will quite do it for us, but I guess we'll see. And then of course we also will have to sell our treadmill. My sister is being so wonderful and she's going to hold on to the table that I have because I'm not selling that. It's my grandmother's table, so I want to hold on to it. And then yeah, past that, I don't think there's anything else that we're going to try and sell. But yeah, we basically just need to make more room. I'm trying to keep a positive mind on this and like try and spin it around and make it a good thing. So in my mind, I keep telling myself that this is going to give me kind of like a clean slate to kind of redecorate how I've been wanting to for a while now. So that will be nice. So we have a place, it's a really good price, and we get home and Jordan decides that he wants to call and ask them about this job position because it doesn't make sense for a job posting to only be active for like 2 days. So he calls them up, ends up getting the same secretary or whoever that he ended up talking to when he went in, and asked her about it, and she was basically telling him all the same information, like, no, I'm sorry, you can't apply. The job posting is closed. And he's like, well, why am I on your website right now, and there's a job posting on here, and it's still open? Like, what is this then? So, of course, she immediately caught herself and started stumbling, and she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll go ahead and transfer you to our HR department. So he ends up getting transferred to the HR department and talks to, I guess maybe the director or whoever is in charge. I'm not going to pretend to know. He would know. I don't know. But as soon as Jordan started telling this guy his qualifications, the guy got super excited. Apparently they've been having a hard time trying to keep mechanics in there for whatever reason. I don't know if that should be concerning or not, or if maybe they're just hiring really crappy guys. I'll hope for that one. But the guy basically begged Jordan to put his application in so he could be considered. So Jordan ended up sending his application and his resume via email, but the job posting is going to be active until September 1st, so we're not really going to hear anything until then. So if they do decide to consider him, like, he wouldn't actually be doing like an interview or anything until after that date, which does present a little bit of a dilemma because, of course, the place where he's currently going to be working, his start date is the 11th, so I don't think he wants to screw them over like that, but at the same time, if he's offered a position that's going to be paying like $6 more than where he's currently working, I guess it would just be stupid to say no to that. So that is that. So we have some good news and we're moving forward as best as we can, you know, taking it day by day. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you saw that I did just recently get my kitties fixed and I got their shots updated as well. So that's actually why I haven't been able to get this video out when I wanted to, because they have been so adorable, but so very needy. Bella has not left my side at all. I swear, every time I stop to sit or lay down or anything, like, she is literally on top of me. But I love her so much and she is so sweet. So I've been trying my best to take care of them, making sure they don't lick at their wounds, because of course they sealed it up with like body glue, so it will dissolve if they lick at it. So for like the past few days I feel like I've had to be on top of them. And then Bella's naughty and she wouldn't stop licking, so I had to put a cone on her. So like I've had to kind of make sure that she's still taking care of herself, because she's just being so mopey because she hates that cone so much. So I have to make sure that she's actually eating and drinking and going to the bathroom. And I've been finding that she really hasn't been doing that stuff like she should, so I have to make sure that she is. Besides that, Jordan and I have started the packing process, so we have started boxing up things that we don't use regularly. So at this moment, I feel like we're in a bit of a limbo, like we're in the eye of the storm, if you will. Like there's only small things that we need to do, at least for now, before like the big move happens. So I've been trying my best to stay on top of things. I'm trying to plan out my month so I can see everything laid out in front of me, what needs to get done. I've been trying to make lists of places that we need to call, as far as switching over our address. But for right now, we still have quite a few days left, so there's really not a whole lot more I can do. So I am still feeling a little anxious, of course, because there's still a lot going on. But I've been doing my best to try and take care of myself as best as possible. I've been trying to give myself breaks so I can relax and like try to actually get my mind off of what's going on. And I've been trying to eat less, and what I do eat, I've been trying to eat better. And that seems to be helping a lot. I feel a lot better because, believe it or not, I'm a stress eater. So it's a really bad habit of mine that I need to get over, because then on top of feeling anxious, then I feel like shit for eating shit. But I think that was pretty much all that I wanted to update you guys on. Like I said, I'm just trying to take things day by day. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and listening to my woes and my stories. I always really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you the next time around.